Okay, welcome back. You watch Morning Live. It's not often you find an author that can be generous with sensitivity and vulnerability, but that is what Miranda Sherry does beautifully in Bone Meal for the Roses. The lead protagonist, Poppy Sam, has a miserable existence with a drug-crazed mother who is deeply conflicted and in a moment of clarity allows her to leave with her father. Miranda joins me now in studio to talk about the book. Miranda Sherry,
yes.
You've written something that I can only describe as magical, the way they've put it on the jacket of this book. Just for the benefit of our viewers, a brief synopsis.
This story is all about overcoming hardship, and it's all about finding your inner strength. So the main character, we first meet her, she's a little girl. She's like you just said in that intro, she's been living in terrible circumstances, but she is early on in the story rescued by her amazingly gentle grandfather, who takes her to go and live in a little corner of the Breda River Valley in the Cape, in this almost enchanted garden. And it's this garden that her grandparents have nurtured, where it's sort of an expression of their love for each other, and it becomes a sanctuary for this little girl, and she's able to grow up and sort of overcome some of the traumas of her past. But as we discover as the book continues, she doesn't manage to escape a lot of those wounds and a lot of her, she's so afraid.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And she's so afraid of losing this that she makes a rather dangerous and terrible decision as she grows up. And the book is about how that plays out.
So I purposefully don't read books to the end because I don't want to give it away, because I want our viewers to go and buy it. But there's a narrative here and a language that you use that I completely fell in love with. You found this balance between strength and vulnerability, and it's so amazing. And it was quite an emotional read. Was that? Did you set off to do that? Was that purposely done, or did that kind of develop as the story unfolded?
I always intend to take my readers on a journey.
Yeah.
So it's very important when I'm writing the book that
a reader that looks like me.
A reader that looks like anyone.
Anybody, okay.
It's completely, I think reading is the most amazing thing because it opens doors to anyone in the world. It's just, you can all be connected through the written word, and it's just extraordinary. But yes.
Yeah, the way you describe Poppy and Sam, Poppy is obviously starts out as Poppy and is transformed to Sam after she chooses that name because that's the name of the horse her grandmother loved and was his best friend. What does the horse symbolize for Poppy and Sam? Because it is not only a recurring dream in one way or another, it is so obvious in her life that everything about it. What does it symbolize to her? Does it symbolize strength? What does it symbolize?
It does, but it's strength, but also freedom, because to her mind, horses, they're these big, powerful creatures, and she sees them running, she sees them, that they're definitely a symbol, I suppose, of her own escape from what she's been through and her aspiration to be this big, strong, powerful creature, even though she feels really small.
Does this garden exist somewhere, and can you give me the directions? Because I know books are meant to be visual, but the way Poppy reacts to this garden, or Sam, the way Harry, the way Jem has this relationship with this garden, because ultimately that garden being perfect is what he hopes that Annika would feel at peace in that garden.
Yes.
And the way Harry reacts when he sees this garden and tries to get Jem to sell him the place, there's something magical about this garden. Does it exist in real life? Have you seen it? Where did you grow this garden?
I grew it on the pages of the book and in my mind, but it was inspired by so many gardens because I'm a garden lover myself, and I find a lot of sanctuary in the garden. So just being amongst the plants, just being in that space and messing about and doing a bit of weeding, I find has been incredibly healing in my life. So I wanted to sort of capture that feeling and create this sanctuary, this healing space. And a garden is the perfect way to do that.
I'm going to ask you a final question because we're running out of time. But Poppy obviously tries to escape the demons of Yolanda.
Yes,
and
her mother.
There's an interesting thing because when she's confronted by the boarders in the shop, it's that very past when she's with Keegan in the shop that she's able to tap in and kind of save them.
Yes, she is. I think.
And it was very funny, by the way. Very
that
funny.
She just suddenly this little innocent little girl suddenly spouts this volley of vile swearing.
They even
in
had to Google it
Afrikaans.
afterwards. I don't know if Google was around then, but they had to go look for it.
Yes.
That's how vile it was.
Yes, because it's sort of this primal thing that is lurking inside of her, and it's an ugliness, but as you say, it's also a strength in that scene, and it makes her this, to Keegan, she becomes this sort of otherworldly kind of wow,
Well, to Nathan, he compares it to a cat.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's quite an interesting book. I'm going to recommend it. It's Miranda Sherry, Bone Meal for the Roses. Go and get it. It's a great, great read. You're not going to be able to put it down. And as the Daily Mail describes it, it is very magical. Miranda Sherry with us in studio. We're taking a break. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.